Many COVID-19 survivors say they're suffering from PTSD, and the lack of mental health clinicians is hurting some communities. Casey Stiegel has more on what some states are doing to help those in need.
Certainly, COVID has brought about certain situations that could count as that traumatic event. Like, for example, if someone suddenly finds themselves unable to breathe and really thinks they're going to die, right? That could certainly be a traumatic event.
Between the social isolation, economic stress, and other struggles, health officials say the pandemic has officially contributed to rising mental health issues like anxiety and depression. In a study published by the British Medical Journal, researchers analyzed the records of nearly 154,000 COVID patients and found that in the year after getting the disease, people were significantly more likely to be diagnosed with psychiatric disorders than those who didn't get infected.
Pre-COVID, there wasn't much that I wouldn't take on. I look at myself now, and I'm just a shell of that person.
In the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic, anxiety and depression increased by a massive 25%, according to the World Health Organization. This prompted states to include mental health and psychosocial support in their COVID-19 response plans. But experts in places like Nevada say major gaps remain.
We were really business as usual for quite some time. It wasn't until recently, maybe in the last 5 months or so, that we started getting a lot of influx of people.
Officials in some states are trying to streamline the licensing process in order to get more therapists and clinicians available to those in need. In Dallas, Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Sunday is the first official day of spring, and with the warmer weather comes seasonal allergies. But as Marianne Rafferty reports, millions of Americans are already suffering seasonal allergy symptoms before spring has even sprung. Here's why.
The first official day of spring is right around the corner, and so are the allergies.
Congestion, postnasal drip, watery eyes.
Just sneezing and sneezing all day.
But thanks to climate change, the warming planet is making our winters shorter, allowing trees, grass, and flowers to bloom earlier and grow for longer periods of time. On top of that, scientists say excess carbon dioxide generated from burning fossil fuels helps plants make even more pollen.
Pollen seasons are now starting about 20 days earlier, and there's about 20% more pollen in the air.
It's bad news for allergy sufferers, but it's just the tip of the melting iceberg. Climatologists at the University of Michigan say allergy season will only keep getting worse. Using pollen samples from 15 different plants and computer simulation to calculate that by the year 2100, pollen levels are expected to triple.
Take my Benadryl.
And if you're one of the countless Americans turning to allergy meds for some relief, doctors have some recommendations.
We know that the intranasal steroid sprays, which many allergic sufferers are on, make a big difference if they're started 2 or 3 weeks before the seasonal allergy season.
Meanwhile, even though fresh air is nice, allergy specialists say limit how much you open your doors and windows.
With the windows closed and the air conditioning on, you can cut down on the pollen count by 90% or more.
Allergy season is now expected to start as early as Valentine's Day each year for portions of the country, with the Southeast and Pacific Northwest getting hit the hardest. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
A recent proposal to scrap biannual time changes has sleep experts talking. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine praised a bill in Congress that would end the practice of daylight saving time. The Sunshine Protection Act, passed by the Senate Tuesday, would scrap the switches taking place in March and November and make daylight saving time permanent. While the AASM praised the action to stop the time change twice a year, they believe making standard time permanent as opposed to daylight saving time would be a healthier alternative.